Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 37, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on the weekends on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple and Google Podcast, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love by giving us a like, a follow, whatever you have to any of the podcast services, and go to their website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me are two of my awesome co-hosts. Unfortunately, Flex. I always say that. It's like, it's one letter off every time. It's like I have to just say, okay, no F, but it's Lex. So this is Lex is unable to make it. She came down with the con flu. Hopefully it's the con flu, not the coronavirus. So we'll see where that goes.
No doubt.
Yeah, so that's that's terrible. So to fill in, we got our moderator, Pompadour Princess, on the helping us out this time since we're short-handed. How are you doing, Pompadour?
I'm good. Now we got everything sorted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
because you know how professional we are when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, so that's cool. So what have you been up to? Have you been playing anything recently?
I haven't played a whole lot this week, honestly. I've kind of just took a break from some stuff this week. Kind of been avoiding my computer.
That's how it usually goes.
But
I'm
still playing Hitman a bit. I need to get more into it again.
Did you just get burnt? Did we get burnt out on Hitman, or what's going on?
No, I just literally haven't been on my computer.
Wow. Okay.
I just have been I've been reading, which I don't do that often, but I've just been sitting on my bed after work at night reading instead of being on my computer.
You know what's funny? It's funny that you mentioned that, because there's times when I'm just you know what? I just don't want to get on the computer or turn on the games, because all day I'm in front of a computer screen. The last thing I want to do is be on a computer screen. So I just got hooked. I got at one point in time, I just got completely hooked on audiobooks with with Audible. And I literally went through The Witcher and got the whole storylines of
nice.
certain things of Star Wars, all these different kinds of things. It's because sometimes it's just nice to just chill without with technology. So I definitely understand. Where you're coming from with that. So that's cool. But anyways, that's awesome. And I got the future Oscar award-winning cinematographer from the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. What's up, buddy?
Chilling, my friend. It has been another busy week. We had I was over at Level Up Expo here in Las Vegas. Last week had the pleasure of interviewing Jen Cohn. She's super chill. She's the voice of Farrah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was awesome being able to interview her, be around the con. I got to watch This Is Lex was a part of a voiceover competition. It was crazy because they were doing live ADR work. They would record it and then they would play the scene back. It was super awesome. They said that we weren't allowed to record it because of copyright purposes. But I totally recorded it, some of it anyway. So watch for that, y'all. I mean, literally, it was terrible because they had a huge sign in front, and they're saying this, and I'm sitting there with my camera, and I felt like they were speaking directly to me. No video recording, but if you do, please just keep it on the performer. And I was like, I'm gonna do it.
You're just like, my heart's telling me no.
Yeah.
It's telling me yes. Oh, that's so hilarious. Look at you breaking barriers and just constantly and just being like a renegade on this.
I'm a horrible person. But anyway, besides that, it was a lot of fun. It was super cool to go out there and hang out and especially something that's here in your own backyard and whatnot. So that was dope.
Oh,
Other than that, I recently picked up Star Citizen. I started it on Thursday. It was a rough start, but we're starting to, I'm gonna take some time tonight and like just play. Like I'm gonna put in some good time tonight and play it. And then hopefully, I'm hoping that we're able to get some Destiny 2 raids in at some point in time this weekend as well. So it's been good.
okay, that's good. Well, man, man, I already told you what my gripe is with Star Citizen, but don't get me wrong, I love that game. Looks like it's going to be an awesome game if it decides to come out, so hopefully when it all comes out, but we'll see how long it's going to be. I mean, what's the counter? It's not like we're counting. It's only been 6 years, right? So we'll see, but no, it's cool. Did you stream? I thought you streamed some of it earlier this week.
I did Thursday. It was a later stream for me though, because I got I can't even remember why I started so late. But I got a couple hours in. There was like an update and I had to basically reinstall. There was some issues with that. And I had to put it on my SSD, but I did stream a couple hours here on Thursday and I played a little bit here before the podcast. But again, I'm only like a couple hours deep into the game. I'm fresh. I don't know much. I've tried to watch a couple of YouTube videos. So I'm excited to explore not only the game, but the community and see what it's all about. Because I've also heard good things. And I think it's an ambitious project. But I was like, dude, this is something that I've been wanting and I've known about this, since it, before it even went into development and whatnot. So it's like, it's something I'll throw down some ducats and invest in and we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Sounds good. That sounds, sounds exciting. Let's see where that's going to go, but that's cool. And, that's always, man, I've been busy as always. So no surprise there, with it. Had to make some really crazy changes thanks to unforeseen circumstances. So it looks like we're coming back on track. And man, I've been having issues with my website. The website, shameless plug, confreaksandgeeks.com. The website for some reason they decided to say, hey, we're going to have a new way of ranking your site, but they didn't tell that to us. So I had to, so the way we had the site rankings completely just stopped. And I was like, oh no. So I've been trying to figure out what's going on with it for the past week. And so everyone else is working fine, but the one that I need to get working is just not doing it. I can't get it. And it's really irritating. And it's really important to get this one working. So we get our E3 credentials. That's the big one. So it's like, come on. So yeah. So hopefully see if we get that going correctly. But anyways, let's get down to it. I know most people don't want to be hearing my first world problem. So let's get this going here. All right. So each of us, as always, each of us picks a new topic of discussion within video games and from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we don't want to just talk about it amongst ourselves. We want everyone that's involved on the stream, anyone could be if they have an opinion that we want to hear it, just post it inside the chat. Faye or maybe any of us will take a look at it, see if it's cool, then we'll add it into this into the podcast. So definitely always don't be shy and just say your piece, and we'll just go with it. So let's get down to it. And everyone, I think it's just to be fair, I think it's my turn. So it's my turn to go first. Instead of throwing the other two people under the bus. Yeah, this time it's going to be me. So I am going to go about this. And if you could tell from the title, which was GDC Cancelled, and it's not clickbait, but it is kind of somewhat similar. It's exactly what it is. So basically, everyone's worried about coronavirus as well as they should be, and it's a really big topic for the past month or so, especially what's been going on. And throughout this time, the coronavirus has because of the coronavirus, companies have been backing out from going, traveling to all these different places. So the big one recently was that because of the coronavirus, there were big companies, Activision, Blizzard, Sony, what's it called, CD Projekt Red. So many different companies have started to go to say no, they're not gonna attend because of the fear of the coronavirus. So this kind of got to a point where big developers were saying no to attending GDC. And in my own opinion, I think GDC is probably, maybe people don't know what GDC is. GDC is the Gamers Developer Conference that they usually hold. It's the first big video gaming convention that or not a convention, but it's an expo where it's not just it's not just PR and stuff. It's like developers of the games of different kinds of points throughout the gaming process comes in. They do lectures, they promote something that they're coming in with, and they're also showing a lot of innovation from like a couch being a gamepad, which was like last year's thing and stuff. So it's a really cool event, which I had the chance to go to last year. So this year, GDC got to a point where they had to make basically a decision, because if all these companies are not going to be attending, then it's going to really make things bare, as well as just the safety in general. This year or this week earlier, they decided the city, I think San Francisco, called it a state of emergency because of the coronavirus. So a lot of things are not happening. It's not happening not happening in favor of what's going on with it. So yesterday, literally at 6 p.m. last night, they finally made the decision on what they were going to do. They posted this on their website on gdcconf.com. It says, after close consultation with our partners in the game development industry and community around the world, we've made the difficult decision to postpone the Gamers Developers Conference this March. Having spent the past year preparing for this show with our advisory board, speakers, exhibitors, and event partners, we're genuinely upset and disappointed not to be able to host you at this time. We want to thank all of our customers and partners for their support, open discussions, and encouragement. As everyone has been reminding us, great things happen when the community comes together and connects at GDC. For this reason, we fully intend to host a GDC event later in the summer. We will be working with our partners to finalize the details, and we'll share more information about our plans in the coming weeks. For more information, please visit the whatever. So it's postponed, but is it really good for them to? Do you want them? I guess the big thing is, like, first off, is this a good move for them to do this? And two, for them to say that it's just postponed instead of just canceling it upright, do you think that's also a good move for them to do this? Personally, my thing, yes. You can't say no to like what's going on with what's happening with the coronavirus right now. It's not something that you should just ignore lightly, because where it comes down to it, even though it's just it has flu-like symptoms, the fact that over 2,000 almost 3,000 people have died from it, there's no cure right now, or nothing to defend yourself from it. You absolutely don't want it. You don't want this to spread. But I guess the big thing is, like, should especially in the summertime, I don't know, man. Like I think I would have thought that they should just stop it, just say no this year and just go the next year. But I just want to get y'all's thoughts on this.
Real quick, I just wanted to point out, Kahaku Moon says, thoughts on how companies are handling the content news release still. No, Square is doing a live stream. I didn't know that Square was doing a live stream. And I think that makes I think you make a good point there too, Kahaku, is that, you don't have to necessarily go to these things to be able to get in front and put this thing out. I think this will give people a chance, an opportunity to get a little creative about it, not having these conferences. them postponing, I think it's absolutely smart. We're seeing it all over all across the board. I know that Overwatch League, they canceled their next three things were supposed to be, their stands were supposed to be in Korea and over in Asia and whatnot. Those got canceled. I'm not sure. I need to follow up to see if they're planning on making those games up, or did they just change like location? I'm not sure. I've got friends that were planning on going to Italy here in a couple weeks. They're having to say they're now going to go somewhere else because they're like, nah, I'm not like, no, this is serious. This is a serious thing. And I think the response of not only the gaming industry and esports and stuff like that, but everywhere people are taking it seriously. And when people are taking something seriously like that, you have to take it seriously, yourself, and take the proper precautions. Because again, it's something that is killing people. There's no vaccine or anything like that. I mean, they had a press conference, and they were talking about how it may not be affordable for all Americans. Like, go America. It's like, that's scary though. You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me there's a tier of to be able to get this vaccine for this disease that, and we don't know. This is very much the beginning of we don't know how it's going to turn out. It could blow up and something, again, I'm not trying to be negative Nancy here, but it could turn into an epidemic or something like that, or they're able to control it and kind of dial it back, which again, this very much seems like a man-made virus type of thing. This to me is almost like, and we'll see how this plays out, but some sort of biological warfare, where not warfare. I feel like that's not the right word.
I think you're putting your tinfoil hat on for right now.
I might be a little bit. I might be a little bit, but I could totally.
He's grabbing it with the hand that's off camera.
I mean, this came out. Yeah. Let me just, like it came out of nowhere all of a sudden, and now there's going to be people that are profiting from this virus. I'm always kind of like, I don't know, man, but I think the response has been appropriate. And this is the right call to make. You know what I mean? It's important to keep people healthy and safe, and not continue the spread of this virus.
Yeah, I mean, and
for sure.
Yeah, copacetic genocide also said something too. So I just love the name. It's like he was asking, was it because of it's of the location of the con or the attendance amount? I don't think that's the case in this case, because GDC is a global thing. So so it's people are traveling in from all sorts of countries. So like China, Japan, Europe, all different kinds of places, all at the same time congregating into one location. So one location that got hit, that's gotten hit, one of the biggest locations, China is one of the biggest ones that's definitely had the most deals. South Korea and all these different kinds of things. So I think it's just more like a precautionary tale. And then this is not even also guaranteeing the fact that I can only imagine the level of like the travel limitations that this would cause for out of country people coming in to the States. So
for sure.
Yeah, so it could be nightmarish proportions, and it's virtually going to be impossible, especially for something that, and to be honest with you, I am surprised that it's not called an epidemic yet. I mean, with the amount
we're getting there. It's not being handled well in the U.S. right now.
Oh, definitely not. Right. But still, it's like it's over 40,000 cases like throughout the world already, and how this is, and this has only been a month and a half. So like, I don't like it's very weird like where we're at right now on the timeline when it comes to this. But overall, yeah, I mean, you can't be mad at a thing at GDC, because when it's at the end of the day, GDC is promoting just like something to sell you. I mean, it's not going to overcome a person's health, let alone it's going to become a gigantic incubator. Shoot, I mean, Lex is out because of a convention like last week. Can you imagine if this was
con crud?
Yeah, with the con crud, I can only imagine with something that's happening out there right now, like to come in as strong as this, for them to do it. But what I will say though is that this is my first time ever seeing them actually, shut down a convention because of like a big convention like that.
I feel like it's going to have an impact on like any convention happening around this time of year.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, like Smitty was saying, the Overwatch League's definitely changing, and it's actually kind of interesting. Like, Smitty, like even open events that were happening in Japan. Side note on that, Japan shut down their schools for the month of March completely.
Yep.
So that's insane. Like, yeah. So like, but there's open events that's happening in Japan as well that they're not going to invite. It's going to be an empty stadium, but people are still going to play, or they're still going to do their event, and then they're going to record it and then show it on television. Yeah, just so to limit the exposure for everybody,
Gotcha.
everybody there. And I'm just like, wow, dude, this is like, I mean, this like people, I mean, like people are going to the levels of the extremes to try to curb this as much as they possibly can. And I mean, and who could blame them, really? You know, so. I mean,
only other thing I can think of is like, as far as like continuing to do stuff is do it how like Devolver and Nintendo do for E3, where they do like a pre-recorded thing. Like they don't even have like live like showings anymore.
Yeah, so but the thing about
like a presentation.
Yeah, but GDC isn't just about like, you know, premiering your game. That's just what it is. Because I mean,
yeah.
GDC is a week of just like, and it's like certain aspects like that's why I feel personally GDC is a bigger event than what E3 is. E3 is selling the like consumers to upcoming stuff. GDC,
for sure.
Yeah, GDC on the other hand is like more of the dev part of like the dev process of making a game. Or here's Unity. This is what Unity can do for you, and all these different aspects. There's things that you won't even think about in the game that they'll be selling at or showing off at GDC. Like the one thing I didn't even think about was blockchains or for advertising within your game and stuff like that. Like, and then there was also like a whole different marketing level of stuff that you can look and talk to and stuff. Like GDC is a very important convention. I think it's an incredibly important convention to go that's been around, and I feel that, I mean, even though it's not as glamorous as what E3 is, but it is. I think it's way more of the vein of like what gaming is. So, but I guess the other question, like I said to you too, is like they said that they postponed it and they're wanting to do a summer event. Like, dude, like summer is going to be one of the worst times of what's going to happen. Like, so I mean, like, so why would they want? I mean, would you really think that they have just said no, maybe, and then do what you were saying? Like, in this case, like you were saying, video content of what they were wanting to do or what they were planning on wanting to release, or just wait till E3? Because I mean, E3 is going to happen in June. And then after that, there's other smaller events are happening during that time. Like, what do y'all think about that?
Well, it'll, yeah, because I mean, because it would be it's almost pointless. Like, what's the point then? Unless it was, you know what I mean? Like, if you're that close, and do I even need to go to GDC and do this? Or maybe it's just that having that perception of, you know what I mean? Like, hey, GDC is where you go to do X, Y, and Z, so we're gonna still do it regardless. Because is that more industry people as well?
Well, GDC, not really. GDC was a mix of everybody. Like it's open to it's been open to the public, but there's certain tier levels where people have access to. So no, it's very accessible. I should say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, again, there could be other motivators as well, or they have sponsorships already locked in, so they have to do something regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's probably more of that, but right now they're just thinking of the immediate. Hey, there is a safety hazard going on. For right now, we're going to postpone, and then maybe, just kind of monitoring how how everything plays out as far as with that. They'll probably make a decision later on and say, hey, you know what, guys, we're just going to cancel it this year. But right now, they're just kind of leaving it open-ended so that there's still the possibility if this thing starts going more positive and people are feeling safer, and it's something that seems a little more doable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think they just don't want to like have a definitive we're canceling it this year at this time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, I mean, it really is. I mean, like, I really don't know what to think about it. To be honest with you, I mean, like, are we really gonna be pissed off if there'll be like no? I mean, personally, I'm not. I think it's actually just one
You
less.
totally know there's going to be people that are going to be pissed off. They say it because the internet and people are terrible.
I mean, it's like, but okay, but like when when they say they're wanting to reschedule to summer, that's pretty long. You know, I mean, like it's understandable if they said, if they said, okay, we're going to be coming out a month later, we're going to come out in April instead of March. Then I can understand people be then they say, oh no, we're just going to cancel it out front. I can understand that kind of rage, but that's like 4 or 5 months after the initial time that comes in, and people have short memories. So if someone so I feel that I think that might be long enough for them to not specifically be like, you know, it won't be a big loss because we'll be like, oh well, GDC didn't happen because of the coronavirus scare, but there was so much other stuff that's happening during that time. I mean, especially people got their Final Fantasy 7 at that point, they won't care. So we'll see.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so who knows? I mean, like, who knows? Someone writes an angry letter or something. It's like, dear GDC, who the hell do you think you are? Or something. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's crazy. So, but okay, well that's cool. Well, it's unfortunate but understandable, and we'll just wait for the foreseeable future to see what GDC is going to do itself. So that's cool. All right, Smitty, what are you bringing to the table?
So this is another tragic story of greed, corporate greed.
Man,
I found this. Yeah, I found this story the other day.
You're like the beacon of that. You know that, right?
I know. I don't know what's going on. I'm turning it like it's like I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, here's another negative story by Smitty by whoever.
It's like, oh,
I thought this is. Like for me though, this is more about, especially when you really love a game, you've been a part of a community forever and whatnot. You're doing right by that game, the developers, this and that, and you want them to do right by you as well. You know, it's supposed to be a community thing.
I'm gonna start calling you Whistleblower Smitty. That's what's gonna happen. Whistleblower Smitty.
Shame. Dead or Alive 6. This is a crazy story. So with Dead or Alive 6, sorry, I'm just trying to catch my bearings here. What they have done is they went through. They're coming out with a new DLC is coming out and whatnot. And apparently, I don't keep up with Dead or Alive 6 at all. But apparently they're known for dropping these DLCs, these rather expensive DLCs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I'm just gonna read a little bit of this article real quick because I thought this is absolutely nuts. The Dead or Alive series is notorious for its abundant and expansive add-on content. The most recent game, DOA 6, already has 4 season passes, ranging in prices from $79.99 to $92.99 each. But a new way to pay for content in Dead or Alive 6 is infuriating the game's community. Infuriating.
Yeah.
Publisher Tecmo is now charging players to change fighters' hair color. And if that sounds bad, the implementation of the new feature is even worse. Essentially what I got from this article was that you basically pay for these they have a currency that you pay for, and then you use that currency to get new costumes or whatever to change your hair color, and one of these things equates to like $1 essentially.
Wow.
And in order to change your hair color, right, you pay one of these currencies to them, and they it changes the hair color and whatnot.
Right.
No.
So
wait.
To go back or change your hair color again, you have to pay again. So you're basically renting hair color for your character, and you don't even get to keep it once you've paid for it. If you want it back, if you want to go back to a hair color you've already paid for, you have to pay for it again. What is this, dude? When did the microtransactions get to a level like that? That to me is the absolute height of greed. Who let this happen? Who said that this was going to be a good idea? Let's go ahead and move forward with this. The community is going to love this. Like, you are basically telling your community, look, man, like, your wallet, I need what's in your wallet. Can I have some, please? Here, you want a new? I'm gonna need an ember, please, or whatever their currency is called.
Mhm.
This is absolutely atrocious. This is absolutely ridiculous. That something like this even happens. I feel so bad for that fan base. And if you guys are paying it, you're a fool. Don't do that. Don't reward them for this. This is absolutely terrible. Can you imagine if this started catching on to other games like a Fortnite or something?
Oh no!
Pay the money, and they're gonna say this is a good model. Let's keep doing it. I think this is terrible. This is terrible. They absolutely. This, in my opinion, should be one of those outrage moments for the internet where they say how egregious of a cash grab that is, man. That is absolutely terrible, dude.
Well, here's one of the things I will say, because it's funny, because I know you're not familiar with Dead or Alive, but I am. And first off, I have to acknowledge Wilbo64's statement. It's like, can I change the color of Bass's beard to purple? And I'm like, yes, please do that. And then change it back towards that. But I will say this, though. Okay, so Dead or Alive, this is, what's unfortunate is this. Like, first off, $72 to $92 for Dead or Alive is surprisingly, and you may think that I sound crazy, it's actually surprisingly cheaper than I would have expected for DOA 6. Because here's the reason why. Because last year, the previous version of Dead or Alive, I just looked it up. Dead or Alive 5 last round, because Dead or Alive 5 was the first version of Dead or Alive where it was fully microtransaction, like your characters, everything and stuff like that was all paid individual.
Oh, no.
So if you had to pay for everything in Dead or Alive, the game would cost you $1,117.34. So for the whole thing, because of all the different outfits and stuff like that, it comes to that point. And they don't do these bundle deals. They just have tons and tons of just crap that they're giving to you. And it's funny because what's funny is, like, at the time when 5 was created, the creator of it, I think it was Itagaki-san. I believe it's Itagaki-san is the creator of Dead or Alive. This was one of the reasons why he left Tecmo, was because he didn't want this. He didn't want these levels of microtransactions of this level of greed to happen, because now it's like, come on, dude. Like, are you serious? You're gonna be nickeling and diming your fan base, the little of the fan base, because this game never really launched up in fighting, like fighting popularity. It didn't hit Evo when it was released when last year, and then the way you did your microtransactions was so sloppy, but yet you were asking people to pay when it initially came out was $100 for the first half of your for two new characters. It's like, it's way too aggressive. And so we've been ragging on, like, as of late, Blizzard with this crap, and then and everyone knows EA, but color of your hair, are you serious? Is like, is there really anything else that you could have said, like, so you're basically you're putting a paywall to say, hey, what color of dye of hair you want? Not even hairstyle. Hairstyle would make more sense than what hair color would be, and then I would still be just as pissed. But, like, I can still understand hairstyle would make more sense. But you're changing a color. You're charging color RGB, man. Like the color palette to do that. And then what's worse, you can't choose it. It's a temporary thing. It's like, what kind of nonsense is that? It's like, is it hurting that bad that you're going to be punishing your fan base to go through it? It's beyond me. And
so I pulled the game up on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure some of these DLC things overlap, so you wouldn't want to, like, just do the add all DLC to cart. But if you click I opened the DLC, scrolled all the way bottom, add all DLC to cart, cost $1,967.93.
Yeah, they don't.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not messing around. They're not messing around with this, and it's already a pain in the butt to get outfits in that game already, and the additional ones. And usually, if you don't know the history of Dead or Alive, it's mostly like a thing for mostly women. Like the outfits are usually scantily clad with women and stuff like that. But that's how it normally was. Well, 6. They focused on the mechanic more on the fighting, but it still caters more for the waifus and for women in the series. So like it's so, man, I don't know, dude. It really discourages me when you hear stuff like this, and it sucks because the game isn't bad. It's actually a pretty fun game, but like when you see these kind of crazy paywalls, and then you're just like it's like you don't want to reward the developers of making this kind of thing. I mean,
No.
this is a level of greed that was actually, I think, it's just gone even more apparent than what it was than its last one, because 5 was just as bad. It was just as bad towards this. But they thought that the best way for it to succeed was through a freemium model to at least be somewhat successful. But man, it's sickening. It really is. It really is legitimately sickening. I mean,
what exactly comes in a DLC to justify it costing $75? Why do all the DLCs together cost over $1,000? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What exactly?
Well, this has like the sets and then like them individually priced, but still, it's like
there's
not even getting like a set deal.
Well, they're giving you a set. Well, like for the $70-something, and this is what's weird. So when we got DOA, we got a review key of it last year, and then later on they gave us the first DLC pack for with it. First DLC pack was $99, and what was weird in that pack was like, okay, so in that $99 we got two characters, and the rest was just outfits. That's all it was.
What are you talking about?
That's all it was.
That's what it looks like. All this stuff is just costume on costume
What?
on costume.
It's just outfits. I mean, that
is absurd.
That's and that's what it, and they got away with it in 5, and then and I feel like they're wanting to be even more aggressive in this one. So that's but it really irritates me with what they're doing with this. It's like, oh hey, here's and then the outfit that they gave us, like I think in the first one they gave us, oh here's the bridal outfit pack. So, and then out of the bridal outfit pack, they gave you 3 sets of different kinds of dresses that you can give to the specific characters. And then after that, you were like, okay, this is not the pack that I'm wanting, but I'm really wanting something else. And then it's like, no, too bad, we can't do. There's another paywall for the new set that you're wanting. Yeah, it's just
I clicked on Season Pass 4, which is the newest one, which is the $89.99.
Jeez.
It features 50 costumes and 1 new character.
Wow. Wow. You said how much that costs? How much? 89?
$89.99.
That is absurd. And people pay for this?
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if they're going to deal with it, if we're going to just deal with that kind of nonsense, that absurdity, then
that is crazy.
It is very crazy.
Who's got the money for that? For a bunch of digital costumes, and now they're not even going to let you keep the digital things. You got to rent it. You can look this way for a little bit, but you want to go and then come back to it. Nah, you got to pay me again.
He's like, nope.
You got to pay me again, son.
Like
that is so messed up, man.
I wonder if you get like I wonder if you can ask for like your return, like your money back or something. It's like, oh, this color isn't as red as I thought it should have been, and then they say, and then they give you your money back for something else. I don't know,
no
man.
refunds.
It's like it's so saddening, man. Like, and you know what sucks? Like, you'd think that they would learn their lessons because. Recently, do you feel that microtransactions is as strong as it was maybe 2 to 3 years ago? I mean, like, do you hear this as much, or like, what do you feel?
No, like people have been shying away more from them.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's like you think that they're going the right direction, but then when you hear stuff like this, it's just like it's just invigorating, really. So, I mean, man, yeah,
that's crazy, man. But that's, I mean, again, that comes from, hey, we got away with it one time, we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna up the stakes. You know what I mean? It's like that is just pure cash grab. They should not support that. They should be, you know what I mean? Their fans should turn their backs on them until they do right by them. That's just, I mean, I you know, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
I'm gonna have one spicy take. Looking through all this stuff, though, there are some really fucking cute outfits.
Got her.
Oh yes, Faye's just gonna get Faye's gonna get into this game. All of a sudden,
Let me
it's
just
like
go ahead and check this out.
I was gonna,
no. Down the rabbit hole.
Just for research. I just want to see what they have for you. You know, I mean, just want to make sure. Don't judge a book by its cover.
I'm just doing some quality assurance here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, only thing I can think to compare this to is like Tekken 7. Like, you don't really pay for costumes in that, as far as I'm aware.
There are. I don't know. You know what? Actually, I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Whoever if anyone on here plays Tekken, but I believe there has to be some sort of level of a paywall. But I think it's accessible as well with fight money that you can earn in the game too.
You get you get the fight money, and there are costume packs.
Okay.
But like not many.
Okay.
It's most of the season pass stuff seems to be
the characters.
Like a lot of characters.
Yeah. It's always,
and
it's
like
always
I've seen like,
which I don't like that necessarily either.
Well, I've always seen there's like a lot of customization though, and
I'm kind of 50-50.
From what I've seen, like everybody always has ridiculously looking characters when I watch people play it online.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious on what people can make with those with all the outfits and stuff they can make. And when it comes to like what you were saying, Smitty, I'm also kind of on the fence. I'm 50-50 on it. If it's new characters, like I mean, like it has to be a mix of new and old. Is what I would suggest, because like I think if Street Fighter 3 taught us anything, was that you can't just give the masses a whole brand new roster without kind of giving a sense of origin of what the original roster was, So like so like when Street Fighter 5 came out, the first set of characters were basically all classic characters. Then they were wanting you to, and then I was going to say, like, if they charged me for this, I'd be pissed, because I was like, Guile's been a staple of the Street Fighter series. Why am I have to pay for Guile specifically? They need to have a mix of new characters coming in with that, with these packs, which I think Tekken does a good job with, because Tekken's announced 3 new characters and then 1 new character that's been around forever, Ganryu. So
the season passes always have like 6 characters too.
Exactly. So you get your money's worth, and you're not paying like the $30. I mean, usually it's like $20-$25, but still, you're still getting your money's worth for these kind of things. It's like that's what you're getting your money in. Is the way I look at it. So.
But I mean, for me though, and it's not so much that, it's the fact that they put characters behind a paywall. Not everybody can afford that, so now you're at a disadvantage. You're having to, you know what I mean, other people have access to this person, whereas you do not. And that's the part that I'm kind of like, I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I understand why they do it, but again, that's kind of like they do it with DBD, they do it with Dragon Ball Fighter Z, they do it with all kinds of games and whatnot.
How like every fighting game is nowadays.
Okay, but theoretically,
but think about an Overwatch. Think about like an Overwatch, or even like a League of Legends type of thing, where they drop these characters. You get these characters expanded, but it's all free. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're not dropping like 6 characters at a time, and maybe that's a model that they can look at. But I like the idea of everybody being able to have the opportunity to play these characters and whatnot without it having to be, hey, you have to drop some money in order to do it. I feel like it can go either way on that.
But this isn't a new thing though, because like look at it this way.
No,
but look at it this way though too. Like even back in the day when Street Fighter 2 came out, like what did they do when they had new characters? They made a new Street Fighter 2. Like I mean, like when Street Fighter 2 came out, you had the first 8 characters. Then they're like, oh, okay, so we'll make a character. We'll make the next version, Championship Edition, where you can play the last 4 people. Instead of paying $20, you're paying $60 for that, because you have to pay a brand new game. game. So that and it's the same way for like with Mortal Kombat, all these different kinds of things. So in a way, nothing has really changed at that point. I think that I think better wise that it's since we are more accessible to be able to not pay back the whole game like we did before, then you could do it. Like I mean, look at Street Fighter V's newest rendition, the Champion Edition that just came out last month. It's only $30. They're adding 2 new characters and they're also changing a whole new systems and stuff. Usually the change the system format is usually free. But like when they add these new characters, I think you're getting your money's worth, and I think that's really the exception. I would say because like Overwatch is probably the ultimate exception because Overwatch is just adding brand new characters without paying anything extra because they can. I mean, and and as for League, I mean League you can get you can't. I mean it is microtransactioned, but you also have the choice to pay in-game currency for that game for that same character. So yeah, so I mean, so I don't think that it's really a big that it's big on that. But like my point would be is that if you're going to be playing characters that have already been established, then yeah, that's a ripoff. You have to mix it up with like brand new characters, brand new systems, brand new schemes and stuff to do it to do it right instead of saying hey, we're gonna bring back Ken. And it's like, okay, it's going to be $30. Right. We're going to have Ken and Bison and all these different characters that's been around forever. So yeah, that's the way to do it, in my opinion. But like, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now it's going to be Faye's turn to come up to the plate here. So what do you?
Oh yeah.
Yep. The highly anticipated Faye's topic. So what do you want to bring to the table?
So it's slightly a topic from last week, but also they've released even more stuff this week. I wanted to talk about Animal Crossing.
Oh yes.
So we had the direct that came out last Thursday, as well as like they've been releasing like more and more trailers that have shown a couple new things as well.
I've never seen any of the New Horizons trailers.
They got this adorable PAX East thing that just I want to live in their display there.
Their display. Oh, that's hilarious.
But like it was like a big step like in New Leaf on the 3DS when they made you like the mayor and you could do all this different stuff with the town.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, it's like an even bigger step. It's like it seems a lot of like Minecraft influence almost, like originally like with the crafting and that stuff, but in general, but like it's like a whole new game now. Like you're on an island now instead, so you have full you can do any like interact with everything. You're in like one big island instead of it being like how there's like the like rest of the town up on another screen or all that stuff.
Man, these plushies look adorable. Just moving around. Okay.
And like you can straight up there's like 4 island designs to start with, I believe, unless that was just like showing 4 random designs in the trailer. But you can now and you can like basically like why I said it feels kind of Minecraft inspired is you can reconstruct your island eventually. Like it's pretty bare to start with, but as you do more and more, like and progress and unlock stuff, you can eventually just like redesign all of the terrain, all of like the waterways, like the lakes, etc. Like you can redesign it like entirely how you want it to look.
So, like, you can design the island as well, or now, do the characters, like your character, do they make their own island, and then you can invite people to their island, or like how does
basically
that
like
work?
it's very bare. Like you get other people to start showing up, and like there's a big crafting system now. Where you just start out with like the small tent instead of a house, and you can like craft things with like when you chop down trees instead of just chopping them down to move them. Like it now actually gives you like wood, and you can get like stone and stuff like that too to make different items. Like you make your tools and all that stuff too. And like it's just like a big overhaul and makes it feel much fresher and updated. Like Animal Crossing seemed to be falling behind the times a little with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still great. I still love it all the time, but it's just like there's that.
Do they go by real time? Like,
yes.
Oh, they do.
It was always in real time. Now you can used to be able to do things where you could like skip time in game by changing the clock. You can no longer do that.
Oh no! So like, what if you're like a night owl? So you're always going to be in this camp at night time.
it seems like it, yeah.
Oh no.
As well as like there was always the like pattern designing in Animal Crossing, which was like you made like pixel art essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put that on like a plain like t-shirt or put it as like a sign and stuff like that. And now this one, like you can put all of your patterns on like pretty much any furniture that has any like fabric, it seems like you can put it on like the pillows on your bed or on your couch.
Right.
There's in one of the trailers they showed there's also going to be transparent backgrounds on the designs that you can make, so you can like put them on like your ground and stuff like that. And so like instead of it being white for the background, like any of that empty space will just be transparent like a PNG as opposed to a JPEG.
Wow, that's really interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. I gotta wait till what's it called? Well, unfortunately, that's not gonna be the cup of tea for me. But the man, it's gonna be either that or Doom, and then the week, then after that, it's like Persona 5 is going to be coming out, and the other one is the big one, Final Fantasy 7 remake. So it's like it's definitely going to be something that's going to be on the burner. It's going to be on the burner for me, but it's not going to be an immediate thing. I know, but I know you are going to definitely pick that sucker up.
Oh yeah, so I'm like super excited for it.
Yeah, so
but it's so nice to see all the different changes they're doing to it. You just get like full freedom over like every detail on your item on your island now, instead of like, because before in the previous games, like you could build bridges in certain areas, stuff like that, and but you always had like a randomized like town design that you got stuck with, whereas now you can design where exactly you want all your rivers and lakes and stuff, where you want your hills and like the higher and lower altitude like little areas.
So
and they even have like new tools as well now, like they've shown way earlier on, they've shown like you have like a ladder you can use to climb up the like cliff sides instead of having to run around to wherever like the ramp is. And like there's like a pole to like vault over the waterways. They even showed even if it's like a very small waterway, you can just hop right over it. So they've made it like much easier to move around, which always was like a bit of a pain for me. I would always try and put my bridges wherever it would make life easier.
Oh wow!
Rather than if it like looked nice. But yeah, it's just there's just so much detail into the whole design aspect now, because one of the first things they also showed was being able to put your furniture outside of your house now. So you can put furniture literally anywhere on your island to design every little area how you want it to be.
Smitty, this sounds like something that your daughter would like.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Sounds like this is basically Nintendo's version of Minecraft.
Basically, it's what it feels like it's turning into now, for sure.
Yeah.
She would absolutely love this.
Yeah.
And I might because this is I was like, but it sounds like it would be a lot more fun. Like I've played a little bit of Minecraft with her and stuff like that. So like, because for me, I was like, this is not a game that really appeals to me. But I know that there are a lot of people, and this game is super popular. A lot of people have been talking about it for quite some time. So there's definitely, you know what I mean? There's definitely something to it. I don't think it's for everybody, but people that enjoy these kinds of things, it sounds like, that it's gotten a lot bigger, that it's going to be fun for people to play. And I know there's a lot of people that are excited about this. But this is one that I will probably I'm gonna look to get my daughter, because I think she would really enjoy this.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely agree. I mean, yeah, this looks like a real fun. Looks like a really fun game. It's it's funny. This was actually the first Animal Crossing was the first game I had on my on the GameCube that I ever got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just never got into it because I was too much time. It took too much time. But like,
it definitely takes time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's really fun. Yeah, so I definitely would love to. Yeah, definitely want to check in on this. And I know some people on the CFG Games is definitely interested in was definitely getting this. Oh, that looks really cool in the different kinds.
Yeah.
Did you see where it has different seasons?
Yeah, you can.
That's pretty dope.
It always, because it is real time. They've always had multiple, like, gone through all the seasons, and like there's always like holiday events and stuff like that.
So
that is so much fun.
That looks like fun. So you could play with your daughter, like, and be in the same camp and stuff like that. That would be pretty fun too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And another new feature they added. You could always have, like, usually your save file was like the same town no matter what. Like you could have like four family members in your one town all playing in the same area.
Awesome.
And so like you can do that with your family. They also have it now that you can play like with the Joy-Cons, like everybody can play at once instead of like having to trade off.
So you have one game
split screen or
Oh
yeah,
so
you can. I mean, you can do like online or local play where you're on your own screen, but you can also like do it where you're sharing one screen. And it puts like one player kind of like in charge of the camera.
Right.
And so everybody, if they like go too far off the camera, it'll like pull everyone over with them.
That's tight.
But you can actually like all play together at the same time now, which is a nice new feature.
Okay. Well, that's
and
awesome.
like the clothing options are like even more detailed. One of the like there's like all kinds of new like accessories and stuff for you. One of the trailers they showed the character creation, and everything is gender neutral now. I believe at the end of the character creation it does ask for if you want to be like referred to as a boy or a girl, probably just for like how everyone like talks to you in game. But you can switch all of your like facial features and stuff at any time.
Oh wow!
Like once you can get like as long as you have like a mirror like furniture item in your house, you can go up to that and you can change all your facial feature stuff. And so you can make your character look totally different at any time, as opposed to this is what you look like. Because before you would take like this personality quiz type thing almost at the beginning, and that would determine like your eye and like your like eyes and like the hair you had to start with. And now it's just you just design it yourself. And there's like so many different hair types now, like different hair textures.
Well, you sold it to Smitty. I can see that. So I know that's gonna
straight up.
And like another big thing about the older ones, you could never change your skin tone.
Wow.
Pocket Camp, I believe it was either Pocket Camp or like the Home Designer like spin-off game on the 3DS. Was whatever one of those were the ones that first introduced different skin tones, but there hasn't been like a main game that had different skin color.
Oh wow, so
it's nice to finally have that.
Well, you don't have to wait that long. It comes out in 3 weeks, so it was
yep.
freaking awesome. All right, well, I guess we can stop it here. So that's perfect. Smitty, what streams are you going to? What are you streaming today? What's your plans for the week?
So my plan is, I think I'm tentatively streaming tonight. I'm trying to see if I can get some Destiny 2 going. So if anybody's trying to get down on that, hit me up. Possibly do raid. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely need to finish out because season 9's almost over. And then maybe getting back into Star Citizen here a little later, whether I do that on stream or off. But I want to put some time in that game and get a true good feeling for it so I could talk about it here later on. So
sounds good. What about you, Faye? Are you planning on streaming anything this week?
I'm not entirely sure. I have D&D tomorrow night. But I keep thinking about streaming, and then like I have other things that are, like I said, I've been like just like reading and chilling.
So more things. Well, I mean, it's all good.
Like I've been hanging out with like my sister on Discord while she writes, and I'm just like sitting there reading, and we're like chilling to music, stuff like that. But definitely want to keep playing Hitman. And then I've also I sent a message to Flex. We're gonna try and like start doing it again if she's not working. But she used to do like a spooky stream every like week where they would play like Dead by Daylight and stuff like that. And I want to try and get that going again, playing more like have like either Friday or Saturday be a day where I stream horror games. Because I have so many horror games that I still haven't beat because I've always been scared.
You'd have someone
and like ones that I've just wanted to replay.
Nice.
So I want to like finally start doing that too.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, man. You just have a lot of stuff to go on. You know what? Tonight I'm actually going to try playing some more Astral Chains. So, and tomorrow I'm going to try to go for do some Monster Hunter Worlds with my friends. So, definitely stay tuned for that. So that'd be pretty cool. So, Smitty, you can check out Smitty's stuff at Smitty2447. Also check out Faye's awesome stuff over at Pompadour Princess, and you can always follow me at CFG Games if you're wanting to check out some really cool content. So this is episode number 37. We'll hopefully see Lex next week. Hopefully more in a better mood, in a better mode than when he was this week. Yeah, feeling a lot better. And
For sure.
yeah, and we'll definitely stay tuned for some more awesome discussions. And thank you for also checking us out. And do us a favor and just give us a follow or a like or say something awesome on our podcast, any of our podcast services on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or Podbean, what have you, anything. So anyways, this is Smitty, Faye, and Davis signing off. Y'all have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Peace.